Yes, my people, welcome back. So, if I go to the 1 week as well, I think we're all time highs on NQ. Yeah, so if you also look at NQ, we are at all time highs, and yeah, so we are all time highs. So, once again, you only trade what you see what you trade. There's no assuming. Yes, the 20, 200 potentially expanded, but as I said before, you need to start looking for signs of failures. Price getting below the 200 SMA, that's the first indication that price might want to start reversing. Until then, you only trade what you see. I can't stress it enough. But let's just head over to the 1 hour chart. So currently on my 1 hour chart, price is bullish. We even had this potential trade here. So we have this zone here. This was the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 price pushed up. I could also narrow it down and make this SBS model 1. Ended up taking out our previous higher high, no problem. So essentially, we are now trading. If we kind of close below this high, yeah, we did. So we're now trading from this area here. So if I go down to my 5 minute time frame, let me just double check what's going on. So that area that I marked out on the 1 minute zone, the 1 hour zone, sorry. So this area that I marked out is this 1 hour zone here. So because we still have places that are still untapped from this zone here, this could end up being two, where that's one, that's two, that's three, and just wait for four and then five. So there's always a chance that these lows could get swept because we haven't tapped into this army to get a move origin, or we might be facilitating a higher time frame, such as what got. Let me check the daily. Actually, 4 hour. What's going on? 4 hour. Yeah, so we might be facilitating the 4 hour time frame, but we'll see. I mean, there's not that clear on the 4 hour to be fair, but we will see anyway. So let me just head over to the 12 minutes, see what's going on there. Yeah, so sorry for the noise, the disco noises. Let me just play this out again. So within this area, if there's an area that I'd like for price to tap into, what's it gonna be? Probably gonna be this area, potentially this area as well. So let's just wait and see what happens. So when I let price play out, okay, so we've tapped into the zone now. This area of supply and demand. If you head over to the 1 minute time frame, we're now below the SMA. So just from that alone, I know I can't take a trade, but also internally, I need price to take out this high, and then I can start looking for something. Until then, I am just going to wait. I'm not going to try and force a trade, get myself cooked, and then I start scratching my head, not understanding what's just happened. So when we let price play out, we just completely dump. So in this situation here, a lot of people probably would have tried to use the 618, and these are things you can't control. 618, you can't control if price is going to win or price is going to fail. Hence why we can all go down to the lower time frame to look for extra things to help us potentially get in. However, stuff like this you cannot control, and you're just gonna have to accept the loss. As long as you have the correct risk management, um, like you're gonna be alright. Remember, as long as you're able to trade another day. No, there's a saying I always say, but I forgot it. You live to trade another day, as long as you protect the capital. So in this situation, like there's nothing you can do about it. It is what it is. You just have to accept it. But now look, we're below the SMAs now. So now, if I want to now start looking for potential shorts, I can. Or I can always just go down to my higher time frame and see what's going on. Why have you dumped? So on my 1 hour time frame, we've had that mark structure break over there. We've had our higher time from SBS 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've had that higher time from SBS. So now we've tapped into this unmitigated move origin. So now I have two options. I can wait for price to flip bullish on my lower time frame, such as the 5 minute, and then I can start looking for longs. I can trade the pullback, because remember on the 1 hour chart, technically we're in the pullback, because remember we have to expand, pullback, expand, pullback. So right now I can trade the pullback if I want, or I can wait for price to flip and then I trade the expansion leg. So when you let price play out, you can see that price has now tapped into that area here. We're still below the SMAs. Let me just close it out because I was on a trade that I took. Yeah, so you can see we tapped into this area here. Let me just go back to the 1 hour because it's a little bit easier to demonstrate and show you. So we tapped into the 1 hour unmitigated move origin, and you can see that we have like a little bounce to it. However, it's still not enough yet. Obviously, this is the next day. So when I head over to the 5 minute, we've just gotten above the SMAs. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens there. If I use the 1 minute, then potentially, let's see what's going on here. Yeah, so we've just gotten above the SMAs. I mean, you could have played about in this area here, but then it wouldn't have been ideal. Got above it again, got below, got above it again. So yeah, so there's no real proper structural flip yet for me personally, based off the 5 minute time frame. Ideally, because remember, ideally, if this was high, low, high, low, ideally I would like for price to take out this high here, get above the SMAs, and then I can start looking for something in continuation of my higher time frame, or as I said before, I can trade the pullback. So you know, I can trade a pullback where I can still look for potential shorts. However, I would prefer to look for longs in continuation with my higher time frame. There wasn't much on NQ. I think gold had a better setups. But as I always say, victory belongs to the most tenacious. Whether you're on a wedding, guys, a good morning, a good afternoon, a good evening, and a good night. And I'll see you lots tomorrow. Peace.